Welcome to Dark Rule Stories, where every rule exists for a reason. Break it and face what should never be found. The old man's words stayed in my head long after he said them. They were waiting for you to come back. I wanted to laugh. I wanted to tell him that was impossible, that whatever I saw in the forest was nothing more than exhaustion, fear, and my imagination twisting shadows into monsters. But I couldn't, because I knew what I had heard. I knew my mother's voice. I knew the sound of that child calling me Dad. And I knew that something had been standing outside my cabin until sunrise. Something that had never once tried to force its way inside. It had simply waited. "Who are they?" I asked quietly. The old man looked toward the forest behind my cabin. For the first time since I had met him, his hands were shaking. "I don't know what they are," he said. "Nobody does." "Then how do you know so much about them?" His expression darkened. "Because 42 years ago," I answered. The room suddenly felt colder. "You answered the voice?" He nodded. "It was my wife." His eyes became distant, trapped inside a memory he had spent decades trying to escape. She had been gone for 6 months. A fever took her. One night I walked the trail after dark because I couldn't accept that she was gone. Then I heard her calling my name. He swallowed. She sounded scared. She said she was lost. She said she needed me. What happened? The old man closed his eyes. I stepped off the trail. Silence filled the room. Outside, the wind moved through the trees, creating a whispering sound that made my skin crawl. When I came back, it was morning. That doesn't sound so bad. His eyes opened. I immediately regretted saying it. "You don't understand," he whispered. "I was gone for one night." He pointed to an old photograph sitting on a shelf. It showed a young man standing beside a woman, smiling in front of the very same house. The young man was him, but beside the photo was another picture. A funeral. A funeral with his own face printed on the memorial card. My stomach twisted. What is that? The town found my clothes near the trail. They searched for weeks and never found me. He looked directly into my eyes, so they buried me. My throat went dry. They thought you were dead? No. His voice became quieter. They were right. Before I could ask what he meant, a knock echoed through the house. 3 slow knocks. Knock, knock, knock. The old man turned pale. The clock on the wall read 7:59 p.m. The sun had already disappeared. Another knock came, slow, patient. The old man stepped away from the door. "Do not answer it." My heart began racing. "Who is it?" His eyes filled with a terror I had never seen in another human being. "That's the second rule." My stomach dropped. "Second rule?" He nodded. "There are many rules about the forest." A soft voice came from the other side of the door. A voice I recognized instantly. My own. "Open the door." Every hair on my body stood up. I hadn't spoken. I was standing several feet away, yet the voice outside continued, perfectly copying me. "I know you're scared." Another knock. Knock, knock, knock. "Please let me in." The old man grabbed my arm so tightly it hurt. "Don't listen to it," he whispered. But the thing outside laughed. It was my laugh. My exact laugh. Then it said something that neither the old man nor anything in the forest should have known. Something I had never told another person. A memory from when I was 6 years old. A secret buried so deeply that I had almost forgotten it myself. The old man slowly released my arm. For the first time in 42 years, I saw him lose hope. He stared at the door. Then he whispered the words that still haunt me every night. "It knows you now." The knocking stopped. The forest became silent, and somehow that silence was far more terrifying, because the old man told me the truth before I left his house. The voices only call strangers once. After you hear them, after they learn who you are, they no longer need to wait for you to enter the forest. They can follow you anywhere. That was 6 months ago. I moved away from the town. I sold the cabin. I changed my phone number. I moved hundreds of miles away and never told anyone where I was going. For a while I convinced myself that I escaped, until last night. I woke up at exactly 3 o'clock a.m. My bedroom door was open. I always lock it before sleeping. The hallway beyond it was completely dark. Then, from somewhere downstairs, I heard footsteps. Slow, heavy, crunch, crunch, crunch. Like someone walking over a forest trail. Then a voice floated up from the darkness. My own voice, calm, patient. Waiting. After all this time, a long pause followed. Then it whispered, I finally found you. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe. And if you carry a story you want told, email me at darkrulesstories@gmail.com.